After months of them being millions of pounds in debt, Super World of Sport Tenryu finally agreed to chat to us. So let's take these bitches over. Hello there, welcome to episode 32 From Then to Now, the TEW 2020 Sabre. We take the World Wrestling Federation from 1992 all the way up to the modern day. I'm Phantom TEW, and if you like this stuff, make sure you leave a thumbs up on this video and subscribe for daily TEW 2020 content. In this episode, we have got two superstars to go before Saturday night's main event. One today, one tomorrow, and then Saturday night main event will be on Monday. Because, of course it will. But so, last episode of Superstars we had featured Fuji-Gun versus Hogan, Warrior and Voltage in the main event. Big time match. Bret Hart versus Lex Luger. Back in their home of Calgary, we had the Hart family. Not the Hart family, the Hart Foundation in a prominent spot. So I'm looking forward to this episode. We are in Tacoma, Washington for this show, because my logic was it was one of the places which has spillover from Alberta. So we went, I'm just sticking in the places with spillover. That way it makes a realistic touring schedule. Except for when we randomly go to Japan. But make sure you do subscribe. Less than half of you are subscribed, and we know we can improve that. But let's get right into this show. And ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest is a singles match putting Dr. Death Steve Williams against I.R.S, two former tag team champions going one-on-one. I.R.S hasn't actually been used much since he lost his tag team titles. So it'll be good to see him on the show, see how he does. And it gets a 78. Jesus, I was not expecting that, if I'm being honest. Williams picks up the win when he beats I.R.S with the Doctor Bomb. Goes just over 15 minutes and 82 for Dr. Death Steve Williams. Man, that man needs to get into some of these top title pictures. And a 59 for I.R.S. Not too shabby. We then cut to the pre-record, because it's Block B's promo challenge. All five judges you can see are in the ring. We've got Sergeant Slaughter, Gene Oakland, Gerald Briscoe, Pat Patterson and Chief J Strongbow. With our three Block B contestants, Jeff Jarrett, Chris Kanyon and Paul Levesque. Jarrett, of course, moved over to Block B after both Morley and Josie were both eliminated from Block B, leaving it 4-2. Kind of had to keep it fair. But they cut their promos. They have to cut their promos on Sarge, as did the rules last week. And once again, it's Jeff Jarrett who wins this block. You've got to wonder, has this move to Block B helped him? Don't know, but he has moved over to Block B and he's straight away won the block. Would he have won if he was still in Block A? It's part of the questions being asked. Chris Kanyon comes in second and Paul Levesque comes in third. Yeah, I'd put them in order of their victory because I didn't want to have to just remember it, or have to jump into a different tab to get the document up. But gets a 100 rating, which, you know, the fact that these guys have been in so many 100 rated segments, if they're not recognisable by the end of this tournament, at least the winners at least, something's gone wrong. But not too bad. We get Jack Tunney making an announcement. This is not the only time we'll be seeing Jack Tunney on this show. But he makes the announcement. Randy Savage, last week, attacked The Undertaker. Now, we cannot have an inactive competitor attacking an active competitor. So, by definition, we have to suspend Randy Savage. However, context is important. And we understand that Savage had been provoked over months by The Undertaker. We will not put the entirety of the blame on Savage. However, therefore, Savage's suspension will only be 1 week. He will be back next week. He is just missing this show. Because by definition, we have to punish him. But we also understand why he did what he did. Thank you. It's basically just a way to extend this feud a little bit longer. That's genuinely it. We get the Powers of Pain versus Jim Powers and Brian Costello. Powers of Pain back tagging together, basically because they confronted the Road Warriors last week. They wanted tag title shots, but the Road Warriors made the very good point that they have barely teamed all year. I don't think they have actually teamed in this safe at all. It's all been Haku and the Barbarian. So, we've given them this match just to try and get them back into actual tag team title contention. The Warlord picks up the win when he taps out Brian Costello in a full Nelson. 52 rating. We then get an Intercontinental Championship Summit. Shawn Michaels has JJ Dillon with him. Bret Hart and Bulldog both have Jim Neidhart with him. And the Mountie would have Jimmy Hart with him. And it's just a four-way argument. Everyone's going back and forth. Even Bret and Bulldog have thrown a few jibes at each other. This is about the Intercontinental Championship, a title which is very prestigious. And I think these four people going for it are very good people, and I think the fact that I'm genuinely able to put the Mountie in that conversation is a testament to the work we have done with him. But an 86, not too bad. Max Moon versus Repo Man. They have great chemistry, apparently, because of course they do. But in the end, Repo Man gets himself disqualified because he's being beaten, and he ends up just grabbing his sack and whacking it over Max Moon's head. Will imply that, oh, he went down really easily to that sack. That might be loaded. Moon's not going to be seen on TV for a few weeks to sell this. But Reaper Man obviously gets DQ'd, but he took the easy way out. He's lost, but he definitely is the one who's standing tall. And, well, Shane Stevens, the referee from this match, gets into Repo's Man face for, well, getting himself intentionally disqualified. He tells him basically to leave the ring. And Repo Man just pushes over Shane Stevens. And walks to the back with his sack over his shoulder, laughing maniacally as evil heels do. Jack Tunney announcement. And he is joined by Genichiro Tenryu. Because as you saw in the cold open, Super World of Sport haven't been doing as well. They were £6 million in debt. So we spent that £6 million. And we bought them out. But have you also noticed in that opening package, there's no GIF for Super World of Sport. I mean, if anyone wants to make one and send it to me, I will happily use it. But I've kind of thought of a roundabout way to get around it. So Jack Tunney makes this announcement with Genichiro Tenryu. And they are announcing the partnership between the World Wrestling Federation and Super World of Sport. Super World of Sport will become a Japanese subsidiary of the World Wrestling Federation, just like Joint Promotions is a British subsidiary. However, we believe that there is a better chance for success if with a rebranding of Super World of Sport. That name is tarnished. So, we've got a double barrel announcement. We will have Super World of Sport will be rebranded into International Pro Wrestling and Romance, or WAR. We're basically bringing in the war name early, and the second part of the announcement, in April 1993, the World Wrestling Federation and WAR will be holding a joint promoted show at the Nippon Budokan. It will be WWF Wrestle Dream. Yeah, we're bringing in the Wrestle Dream name because essentially I like doing monthly pay-per-views, but I don't want to be doing these Saturday night main events too long after they would have stopped in real life. I also don't want to bring In Your House in too early. So, finding little things we can do on these pay-per-views, always a good thing. Wrestle Dream is one of them. So that's going to be our April pay-per-view. So the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania, and it's going to be a co-pro with us and WAR, who are now a developmental subsidiary. The Undertaker and Ric Flair come back, and the Undertaker chats to Flair. And he's basically saying to Undertaker, to Flair, I am just the messenger. You don't shoot the messenger. I told you your past would come back to haunt you because I know it to be true. Not to threaten you, not to feel bigger than you. But right now we have a common enemy. And that's Hogan. I need a tag team partner for Saturday night's main event. Will you be my partner? And taken aback by this, Bearer probably does most of the actual talking. Undertaker just says a few lines here and there. But Flair's obviously a bit taken aback by this. In his mind, Taker's just been taunting him for the last 2 weeks, and he's like, Undertaker, I will happily team with you, because I don't like Hogan, and I always want to get my hands on Hogan. But next week, I want you in that ring. Because I don't care if you don't shoot the messenger. You have driven me insane these past 2 weeks. And I don't care if you're just the messenger. I want to shoot you. So next week, me and you in the ring. That is my only condition for teaming with you. And Undertaker looks at Bearer, and he shakes Ric Flair's hand. It's a 100 rating. The Natural Disasters versus the Bushwhackers goes about 7 minutes when Earthquake pins Luke with the splash after the Beverly Brothers and the Genius attacked the Bushwhackers. Because, you know, they had a massive promo last week about talking about the idiots of the tag team division, how they were the intellectual geniuses. Of course they were getting involved with the Bushwhackers. What did you expect? Also gives Natural Disaster a big win. Well, not a big win, it's the Bushwhackers, but gives Natural Disasters a win. As they called out Miracle Violence Connection. And so basically, Hogan cuts a promo. I've put Flair and Undertaker on screen here, just basically for my own sanity. They're not actually here. And Hogan's basically saying, okay, so Undertaker and Flair. Undertaker, you told me for months I was focused too much on Flair and not enough on you, and now suddenly you're getting Flair involved. Okay. So I need to find a partner. I've gotten all of tonight and I've got all of next week. Don't you worry, Taker. Don't you worry, Flair. I know somebody who just can't wait to get his hands on you. Gets a 100 rating. Another Razor Ramon vignette. Continues on exactly from the exact same place the last one ended. Walking into the club. Again, the camera stays behind and low, so we're basically only really watching his feet. We go up to the bar, and it's the first time we actually hear Razor Ramon talk. He orders a house double shot of tequila. No, not a house double. Just a double shot of tequila. Necks it back. Camera pans up. Scott Hall standing there. And he just lifts up his shot to the camera, necks it back, and walks past the camera. With the caption, coming soon. Not bad. Gets a 65 rating. We get a quick promo here. It's Koko Beware, Owen Hart, and the Ultimate Warrior. And they're cutting a promo on Fuji-Gun. Hogan's a bit distracted with the Undertaker Flair stuff. One of my big things here is that I've wanted Hogan to feel attacked in all directions, because I'm going to talk about modern AEW here. I think one of the key things is that the world champion, MJF, feels like everyone is gunning for him. Like, that's kind of the atmosphere I want to create around Hogan. All of the top stars, their goal is Hogan. And the only people you can say really aren't targeting Hogan in any way, or aren't involved in Hogan, well, no, even the IC title picture's involved with Hogan. Because we spent this entire summer having Hogan and Brett team up against Shawn Michaels and the Horsemen. And the Mountie's been up against Hogan in a couple of matches with the Hart family. Bulldog might be the only person who's never interacted with Hogan in this sort of top card picture. But these guys cut their promo. Gets an 88. And it leads into the Ultimate Warrior defeating John Nord. It goes a bit longer than Warrior normally does. Gets a 71 rating. Warrior is starting to get stale. He ain't going to... Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Warrior's not going to be around for long. You've probably noticed that Warrior is not presented as the unstoppable monster he was in real life. Yeah. Because no. Gets a 71 though. Not too bad. And the final segment... Warrior shouts up the ramp. He is challenging Yokozuna for Saturday Night Main Event with his title shot on the line. Gets a 98 rated. Great stuff. And that does confirm, which will probably be... I don't know if it's our main... No, the main event will probably be the IC Triple Threat. I think... Actually, no, all three of the matches we've confirmed for Saturday Night Main Event could genuinely main event. We got this, we got the Intercontinental Triple Threat, we got the Hogan Undertaker tag match. We're also going to have an elimination match from the boot camp on the show, so who knows what will be the main event of this show? Well, probably not the boot camp. What do we get overall though? It's a 85. Not too bad in the game, but that's not what's important. Let me know in the comments down below. What did you think of this show? What would you rate it? What storylines are you enjoying at the moment? Are there any storylines which you're like, not really a bit of you? We've got one more Superstars before Saturday Night Main Event, and then 4 more Superstars after that before SummerSlam. So we are not far away from the second biggest show of the save so far. I'd probably argue, actually, this is probably bigger than Mania in this save, because Mania, we'd only had 3 months worth of storyline with background in this save. This will be 8 months of booking culminating. Because a lot of these stories have been ongoing past Mania. Like, you know, it was Flair and Hogan at Mania, yet they're still fighting now. Next year's Mania will be a big show. I already know what quite a few of the matches are for that. That's going to be a massive show, and I'm excited for that. But we've got a long way to get to before we get to there. That'll be in an entirely different season. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you did with a like and a comment. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.